because this is pretty much important topics he'll cover, and then we'll go to the next speakers. Go ahead, Bhushan. I'll just spotlight you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hi everyone, myself Bhushan. So I wanted to summarize and my learning, which is taught by Vijay in last book club session. So he taught about cash flow game learning, and I could relate myself, and which is very important for everyone, not for me only. And it is important because it is made by the person who is the actually successful financial advisor and author of the Rich Dad and Poor Dad. So what I learned is, first thing is I learned the cash flow. So what is the cash flow actually? Cash flow is nothing, our income. Cash flow equal to income minus expenses. Okay, so we studied about balance sheet in our college and school, but we don't aware about our balance sheet, our life balance sheet. Okay, so what is the balance sheet? What is our income, and what is our expenses? What is the assets and what is the liability? And when I calculated, I see my balance sheet. There is no asset. There is zero asset and only expenses. So assets and second thing what I learned is so many times we confused and we think our liability is our asset, which is not true. For example, if I want to buy a home and I take the loan, I do the down payment 5 to 10 lakh, and so for example, yeah, so that home rent equal minus our down payment interest minus our EMI. Okay, so it will, if it is a positive, then it is a asset. If it is negative, that is asset, liability. But there is not a such home is exist as a asset, home asset. Okay, so so many times we confused our, when we buy the home it will become our asset, but it is not true, it is a liability. Every person have a professional have a different income, and we have a different balance sheet also. Okay, for example, I am the software engineer. If I have a 1 lakh package, my expenses and balance sheet will be different, and if a truck driver, that their balance sheet will be different. Okay, so in off paper, if it is a in paper, if my income is salary is more, and the truck driver is salary is less, but maybe his cash flow is better than me. That's very important. Third thing is like learn is I should save some money, which will helpful for me 2 years cash flow are my surviving, actually surviving. Okay, in between if something happened with me, so that my family or my future will cannot should not trouble. So that's the very important, because so many times we unnecessarily spend the money, and we'll become the end of the day will become the bankrupt. So many things will buy in the EMI through the loan. Fourth thing is the passive income. This is the very important, and passive incomes needs so many efforts and time and money to create. For example, I have active 1 lakh active income and 30,000 my passive income. That which is 30,000 passive income is more better than active income, because active income can become zero if something happened with me or my job, but passive income always will be same. So passive income is very important, so that my survival, I will not fight my survival, and I can follow my passion and my dream. So these four things I have learned. First is the balance sheet. Don't confuse about the liabilities. One is the asset. Create the asset and passive income, so that your future and your family should not trouble and fight for the survival, so that you can follow your passion and dream, and whatever you want to in life you can do that. So that was my learning, and this is very important for everyone. So maybe future will again play the game, and it will be helpful for all the people. Thank you, Kiran.
Wonderfully summarized, Bhushan. I think you took all the important points, that cash flow, balance sheet, asset versus liabilities, and 2 years of liquid cash, which Vijay deliberately told when to take risk in life. Until unless you have a 2 years of liquid cash, which won't affect your survival. And then if you have that amount of money, then you can take as much of amount of risk you want. So he talked about all of calculated risk and ultimately the passive income to automate your survival income as well. Amazing, Bhushan. Lovely summary. We'll go to the next speaker quickly. So Rohit, you can also share the learnings of PIM, because this all summary will really give us that atmosphere where we can bring a lot of speakers to speak. Rohit, if you are available, I can spotlight you. Rohit, your voice is not coming. Now better.
Better. Okay. So hi everyone. Myself Rohit, and I'm an NIT Bhopal alumni, and I'm having 5 years of experience. And I'm in touch with book club in PIM since I think more than 5 months, and I've learned lots of things. So I'm just going to discuss about last week's session, which was amazing. This was about the course of choices. So we have lots of choices in our life. Whenever whatever we're going to do, we think of lots of options, and there are lots of options available in front of us. But those options, they are not good sometimes, not good most of the time, basically, because they create lots of confusion. Because if you think of buying something, let's say mobile, you have lots of options. But if you go back 10 years down the line, you won't have much options, right? So it is very easy to buy a mobile. So the thing is that in last session Vijay talked about this very deeply. So he took one example of Brazilian railways. In late 90s, what happened? Brazilian railways was going to crush. It was in very much in depth, and they were going to they are going very tough time. Okay, so what they did, the government decided to do the privatization of the railways. So they open for the bidding, and some company they come up for the bidding, and one company won the bid, and they told the government that we will fix it. So what happened? They had lots of options, like they can do this, they can do this. But those company, those younger CEOs, what did they decide? They come up with 4 points that we have lots of choices, but we will not be confused with the choices. We will categorize our work into 4 points, and we will do accordingly. So what they did, they thought that they will invest the money on those projects which will allow them the more income in the short term, even if it will generate less revenue in the long term. So it was the first point. Second point was the option that will fix the problem quickly will be preferred to the slower option that provide superior long term solution. So what it means that they wanted to fix the problem quickly. They are not thinking of the long term. So this was the second point. Okay. Third point was the faster is the better. So they wanted to fix the things quickly because the railway was already going down, right? And the fourth point was the using the existing machinery, whatever they are having. So let's say their engine is not working, bogies are very bad in very bad shape. They are not going to completely crush them. They are going to fix them if it is possible. So what they come up with? They come up with these 4 rules, and they started working on the project. And within 4 to 5 years, they fixed the railways, which was very much broken and which were very much impossible to recover. So why they were able to do that? Because they removed the unnecessary choices. They remove the pseudo options, right? So this was the first point. Second point is that in your life, if you are having lots of choices, you need to clearly define your goal. So let's say if you want to be a CEO of a company, you don't care about the promotion that you are getting in your existing job. You don't care about the other temptation that you're getting. You just focus on that. You don't think that I will be an investment banker, or I will be something else apart from that. If you want to do something, if you want to become something, but Vijay told that you need to clearly define that thing, so that your mind can effectively work on that thing. So this is the second point. So first point was remove pseudo options. Second point is that clearly define the path, and third point, remove the ambiguity. So what it means that we have lots of things in our mind. We are not very much clear about it, basically. So we have ambiguity. Let's say in the if you wake up in the morning, you think that I want to do this, I want to do this, or maybe you have lots of things in the mind, but at the end, in the evening, what happened? You end up doing nothing. Mostly you don't do most of the thing, and you feel guilty about it, right? So you need to remove those ambiguity that is not part of your life, that is not helping you grow. So remove those ambiguities. So these are the 3 points that which I had discussed. First is remove pseudo options clearly. Second is clearly define your path. Third is remove ambiguity. If you follow these 3 points, it will help you achieve whatever you want to do, and it will also allow you lots of time, lots of personal time, because you are not doing unnecessary things. Yeah, so that's all from my side. Thank you, Kiran. Over to you.
Amazing, Rohit. Wonderfully covered. In fact, what Vijay has covered last week in Saturday was too concentrated and very difficult to digest. But then you beautifully covered all the points, Rohit. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kiran. Yeah.
Great. So we'll move to the next speaker. I think we have a Venkatesh. Venkatesh, if you're online, can I spotlight you?
Hi, Kiran.
Yeah, go ahead, Venkatesh.
Hello, all. Very good evening. My topic is looking for a better way, from the book called What Will You Say When You Talk to Yourself by author Shad Hamilstetter. Have you ever wondered why things won't work the way they should? Have you ever wondered why some people are more productive than us, while most of us are not? What makes the difference? Is that the fate? If we truly like to achieve things, if we truly like to do things better, what holds us back? What is the wall that stands in our way? Imagining a life without barriers and battlements. Imagining a life without hassles and hurdles. This type of dreams seems impractical for author. Author in his studies never found a concrete solution for this. But author believed there has to be a way which will work. There has to be a way which is overlooked. And if we could find that, and author also believed that mastering one's future will always start with mastering oneself. And if we could accomplish at least part of that, we could control at least a part of so-called as life. Thank you.
Amazing, Venkatesh. The best part I loved about your talk is that the presentation, man, amazing. You're standing and then speaking and then beautifully narrating your topic. Very nicely presented, Venkatesh.
Thank you, Kiran.
Thank you so much, Venkatesh. We'll move to the next speaker then. Who else raise a hand? Yeah, I think Shilpa. Shilpa, will you go next? I'll spotlight you. Shilpa, you need to unmute yourself just a second.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Shilpa.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're loud and clear.
Okay. Just a second. Very good evening, everyone. Today, I'll be speaking over Cure Yourself of Excusitis from the book Magic of Thinking Big. What is the thing that is stopping you? You don't have enough time, enough energy, enough sleep, or you don't have enough amount of money. Is that the thing that is stopping you? Or the thing that is stopping you is you? People give excuses, and when a person finds a nice excuse which satisfies his or her mind, the person tries to use this excuse everywhere. And this gets embedded in the deeper subconscious level. And like any other disease, giving excuses also becomes a disease, and we call it excusitis. Effective people never give excuses because they are constantly working over the ways to achieve their goals, while unsuccessful people who are constantly busy in making excuses suffers from excusitis. Here, we'll be discussing about some forms of excusitis as well as their antidotes. The first and the most common form of excusitis is health excusitis. According to a survey, every 4% out of 5 in hospital bed can recover if they manage themselves mentally. But here people complain that they are not able to complete certain tasks because they are not physically fit. Antidote for this is, number 1, refuse to talk about your health, because talking about your bad health oftenly is just like putting fertilizers in wheat, and it bores people also. When the person talks about his or her health, the person appears to be a self-centered person. And by doing so, we may gain sympathy, but not the respect. The next point is refuse to get over worried about your health, because by doing so, you forget to enjoy the colors of life. So it's better to be alert, but don't be over worried. The next point is be genuinely grateful that your health is good enough. There's an old saying worth repeating often is, I felt sorry for my ragged shoes until I met with a person having no feet. So remind yourself that it's better to wear out than to rust out. Never imagine yourself in hospital bed. The next kind of excusitis I'll be discussing is intelligence excusitis. Here, 95% people suffer from this kind of excusitis. Here, people refuse to take any kind of responsibility because they feel, actually, they doubt their IQ level. Antidote for this is, number one, always never underestimate your brain power and never overestimate others' brain power. Number two is always appreciate your level of thinking. The next point is always remember that attitude is more important than intelligence. The next, sorry, I'll be a bit faster. The next kind of excusitis is health excusitis. Here, people don't even want to start up anything because they feel that they are either too young or too old. So they wait for a proper time to come and they keep on waiting. Antidote for this is, number one is always look at your present age positively and take full advantage out of it. The next point is calculate your productive time. According to a study, a 30-year-old person have 80% of productive time, while a 50-year-old person have 40% of productive time, which is pretty good. The next kind of excuse, the next antidote is always do what you love to do. The next and the last kind of excusitis I'll be discussing here is bad luck excusitis. Here, people don't want to do anything. They feel they lose their confidence level, and they don't start up anything. Because they always blame luck for everything happening with them. Antidote for this is always take a second look over what actually appears to you, and you will discover that it's not the luck, but it's the preparations and plannings which leads to success. Thank you so much.
Wow, amazing, amazing, Shilpa. You really summarized pretty well the whole chapter in just 3-4 minutes. Wonderfully covered, because the kind of excusitis she has covered is very, very deep. We all are struggling with one of the excusitis and fighting the battle. But yeah, we have to overcome to really become something. Wonderfully shared, Shilpa. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great. So we'll move to the next speaker. We'll call Supra. If you're online, you can go ahead next. I'll spotlight Supra.
Sure, Kiran. A timer, can anyone take care, or you want me to start it?
Yeah, you can go ahead. I'll take care of it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kiran. I'll be just starting it. A very good evening to everyone. Before I start my topic, I would like to say, is there any man who, like we say a quotation that's like, we do not count a man's years until he has nothing else to count. So before we get deeper into this, I would like to ask one question to every one of you here. Can anyone tell me which age is called as the old age, or let's make it in a better way, what age for yourself you will call that I am old? Can anyone answer to yourself? I am not looking for an answer here. You can drop in the chat if you are really thinking that is going to help in understanding each one of us, right? Is there any old age that we call as a old age? I see 1 or 2 gray hair and I start calling myself old. Do you think it is old? Yes, if I have thought inside my mind that I'm old, then today I am old. Age doesn't matter, or age is just a number, as we say. So I'll be talking about a beautiful story here. There was an old man. The moment when I say old man, I don't know the age of the old man here. He was in a room. He was lying in a bed, and he always thought that he's abandoned by his family, his friends, his relative. And by thinking that thought, he grew older. He started getting sagging skin. A lot of diseases started attracting him. He started thinking that he's betrayed by everyone. He has no one because he is growing old. And that's how the story continues. And we'll pause it over here. Okay. Most of us think in the same pattern. Today, I give you a chance, or let's take it in this way. Think of a scenario. let me consider I have a scale or a measuring tape, which we call as age. It's just a number, right? It could be any age. We start seeing a lot of visual dreams about ourselves, right? So let me take a age as a end life, which we call 97. I'm taking age for myself, where I would think that I will be leaving this body. It's not an end; it's just a change till that path. I started my career journey at the age of 23 because I started earning. I consider it's a starting for me from 23rd. I had a visual dream book which had lots of places to roam, one big house, a big car, a good spouse, kids. What else? These are the common dreams of all of us, right? Is there any dream beyond this? And all of these dreams has been achieved at the age of 45. Let's take for an instant. And my kids are all back to school, and they're also well settled, and they're doing good and everything. Still, I'm left with what age? 45 to 97, or make it 50 to 97. So if my dream list kept on adding of doing only this thing, or the pointers which I mentioned, so what do you think? Is there anything left for me to do, or did I get retired at the age of 50, or whatever we call 65? I would say a retirement age is fixed by we people, which we call as the age of 65, 50, or whatever number you give. So what happens at this retirement age? Retirement means mentally you start considering yourself as a old person. There is no number to it. So that is called as you thinking mentally yourself as an old person. This is called as mind and spirit do not grow old. This means that. So the moment you have chosen your life to be limited till that 50s, you consider that you are old enough. So this was one of the pointer. How do you think that the gray hair which you see and you consider yourself old, today onwards you start thinking that the gray hair is not an symbol of old age, it's a symbol of wisdom. You started getting a wisdom on that part. So that is what it is all about. So now you all might be wondering why I'm talking this story on age, life. If you would have noticed, I'm talking about your dream, guys. So today you are all working in a good top-notch IT organization or any government sector or anywhere. You have achieved all your dreams and you have achieved everything till your 60s also. Let's take it 70s. Still, I put a benchmark as 97. You put your date till what you want to achieve. Still, what you are going to do in that rest of your life. Are you going to start a venture at that time? Yes, you of course can. But if you already have a venture, you can retire from one job, but you're never retired from your mind actually. Your mind starts working the same day when you start functioning it way more. And that is the age where you see yourself as a young person. There are a lot of examples who started a lot of things at the age of 80. Socrates is an example who started learning music at the age of 80. There is a great painters whose painting was identified at the age of 80. What do you think? Were they old at that time or they were young at that time? So the day we start walking, we are considered that we have grown up an inch. Yes, it is a change to the path you are leading further and further, but you're not growing old. But if I decided today that I am old, no one else can help me in that part. So you are going to decide what you are going to plan your years, put that number and put the extra dreams that you want to put in that gap, a part of the house, spouse, kids, job, money. A part of that, what dream should be there, and how can you be a part of people's life and what you can give to people. I would like to end with a very small story of Vikram and Betal. If most of you who don't know Vikram and Betal, Vikram was one of the king, and Betal is a person who sits over Vikram, and he just narrates a very beautiful story every time he meets him. And what does the story actually have? The story has nothing. He just jumbles and puzzles him out and give him a problem to solve the solution. So every single time you come across anything in your journey and in your life, you have to consider yourself that Vikram, not the Betal. You cannot give problems to others. You have to be the Vikram and solve each and every of this. And you are your own Vikram, and there are Betals, which is your surroundings, which will be doing all these things for you. Thank you so much, everyone. Sorry, Kiran, if I have exceeded the time. Yeah.
Amazingly spoke, Supra. As usual, we really missed your energy in the book club, and definitely you have really fired the book club atmosphere now. It's completely charged up and lovely sharing, Supra. Thank you so much.
Sorry to add, guys. This is from the book Power of Subconscious Mind. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yep. And I think a lot of people were asking me where can I get recording and all. So please be patient, guys. Nothing to worry. The sessions are getting recorded. And
Dale, what is it? Dale Carnegie. Okay, how to win and influence the people. how to win friends and influence the people. Last week I have read. In this book, I have covered few topics. In that, I have to give the glance now. So for the six at a glance, 6 ways to make the people like you. The 6 ways to how to make the people like to you. So many times we have been underestimated by not many times we will feel that we are not, we will be underestimated, like we will feel no one is liking me, or so many other things. So the first principle in this book, I have read around 6 principles, how to 6 ways to make people to like you. The first principle is a simply in simple way I want to tell, sir. So become genuinely interested in other people. Okay, the first principle. So genuinely we have to create some interest in other people. The second principle, the second main principle is smile. Whenever we will smile others, they will also give smile back. So this is the second principle where we can win the others people. So the third principle maybe the third principle. The remember that person's name is that the person's sweet and most important sound in any language. Like means we have to remember their names in personally when we have to talk with a small child, or if they call their name personally like beta, or without these names, like any other names, not nicknames, or truly their names, it will be helpful to win their heart. So personally we have to take the names and we have to get interaction. So next principle, be a good listener. First we have to become a good listener rather than speaker. We have to become a good listener to like us. So encourage others to talk about themselves. We have to encourage them. Okay, so before listening to others, we have to listen to themselves. Okay, the fifth principle is talk in terms of others person interest. We should not keep on speaking our interest only or our things only into others. We have to talk in terms of other person interest. So we have to judge them, we have to talk with them, and we have to explain, we have to understand their feelings and emotions. On the basis of that, when we have to give our feedback. So this is one of the principle that we can make many friends, and we can make a big good friendship circle. So last principle is make the other person feel important, do it necessary. So make the person the what we are speaking to others, no, we can make the feel him so important rather than speaking unwantedly or without any effort. We have to make the person so important that it should be very sincerely, we have to make the effort to make a friendship with you. So these are the main 6 principles that we came across in this book, how to win friends and influence people. So thank you for giving me opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Chaitra. Lovely covered point to point and in time. Very nicely covered, Chaitra. Your talk was very, very clear and in point. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we'll move to the next speaker. Before moving, I'll just take a quick intro. For people who have joined for the first time and who have not introduced to us, you can unmute yourself and you speak about your name, your profession, who invited you. Very, very short, okay? So who have joined for the first time in the book club? Do we have any new people with us? Anyone? I think.
Hey, Kiran.
Yeah, go ahead. You can introduce yourself in case you can switch on the video.
Am I audible, right?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah. Hey, Kiran. Hi, all. This is Sai Venkatesh. I'm a software professional of 5 years of experience. Bhushan has introduced me with this club.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Sai, for introducing yourself.
And Kiran, sorry, maybe I'm asking too early. Like, can you just give the brief introduction of the club? I have joined 10 minutes late.
Sure, Sai. I'll take it later to you because currently we have a lot of speakers. So I'll just give the details to you in offline. Okay, that is fine.
Sure. Thank you, Bhushan. Thank you.
Okay, Himesh, you can also introduce yourself.
Sir, myself Himesh. I'm working as senior accounts executive in a private limited company, and currently I joined from Supraman actually. I have a lot of motivational videos and books and got information. So I asked madam to join. So today only I joined. Already from our only I made. So
Amazing. Thank you, Umesh, for your
thank
introduction.
sure.
Have a
Thank you.
good journey ahead. Anyone
Oh.
else? Quickly, we can introduce anyone else.
Hi, Kiran. Pranay here.
Yeah, go ahead, Pranay.
My name is Pranay Ranjan Shahu, and basically I'm from Odisha. So Kiran introduced me, and this is the first time I'm attending this session. Actually, all stories are very nice. Actually, I'm just enjoying. And coming to my professional career, I'm working in a software company called Wipro, and I'm from my location is Bangalore. Means I'm working in Bangalore location. Thank you.
Thank you, Pranay. Thank you for the introduction. Hope you'll have a great journey ahead. Great. We have anyone else who is new who wants to introduce?
Yeah.
Hi, Kiran.
Go ahead, Sangeeta. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Sangeeta Patti, and currently I'm working as a digital trainer with a Qatar-based company. And here I joined here because I want to improve my communication skill as a public speaker. That's why I spoke to Kiran and today I joined. It's actually very nice session is going on. I'm very much interested about the inspiration speaking things and public speaking and all. So I think it will help me a lot. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sangeeta. I'm really excited to have you here as well. Hope you'll have a lovely journey ahead. Great. So anyone else we have missed out? Or...
Yeah. Hi, Kiran. I'm Uma Walia, and I'm working as a software engineer since last 5 years. And I have joined book club because I like to read, and I also want to enhance my public speaking skills.
Lovely, Uma. Thank you so much for your lovely introduction. Hope you'll also have a great journey with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you
who
so
invited
much.
you, Uma? Who invited you?
Ravi Pathak.
Acha, Ravi invited. Wonderful. Thank you, Uma. Great. So anyone else who missed out for introduction? Quickly, we can take one more. Or we can continue. I think we are almost done for the introduction. If anyone has missed out, do message me over the chat so that I can pick you and then ask you for the introduction as well. Okay, great. So Shiva, you can go next quickly. I'll just spotlight you.
Hi Kiran, this is Shiva here. Today my topic is from the about the magic of thinking big from the chapter Believe You Can Succeed and You Will. Success means every person will be required. Every human being wants success. And I'll share my one real story which happened to me in my previous organization. See, I was working as a team member, and my boss, he told me to, he gave me one opportunity that see, we are starting a new project, and you can handle that. And there were many team members in my team, and he asked each and every person. And finally, he came to me. If I go to Shiva, he'll never tell that he doesn't want to take any opportunity. And he believed in me. And finally, and he gave me the time also at what you think about yourself and how you can handle or not. And it will be a team. I'll give you a team of four to five member and all. And I was very confused whether I can take or not and all. And after that, see, I thought for some 2-3 days, and he gave me, and immediately that project want to be launched. And he was getting pressure from my super boss from the other part, and he told me that Shiva, at least in this stage you can help me. And I told him, sir, you are requesting me, at least you are giving me an opportunity to enhance my skill, and surely sir, I'll think and I'll get back to you. And after that, I thought each and every this one scenario, and the next, after 2-3 days, I discussed with him, sir, if you are believing in me, I can take this opportunity and I can proceed. And after that, I proceeded, and it was entirely a new thing, because whatever, I was a team member and he gave me the opportunity to handle the team. It was very difficult. And as a fresher, I was experiencing this one, and to handle a team, it was like a money matters here. It was entirely if you put 1 0 also to the customer account, it will entirely go, it will get up messed. And if you want to call back to the customer and again you want to ask, that was a big risk in that. And I thought each and every this one, and finally, anyway, my boss only is asking me to take this responsibility. I took the responsibility, and with this belief, and I went to him and I told, sir, I can handle this one, and you don't worry about that. And with that, this one, he was very happy that at least, see, he has given me some belief that I can enhance my skill. And after that, I started this one, and he gave me some 4 members as a team. This one, I was a team leader to the project, and I was handling very well because it was new to me, and I was checking each and every transaction, what is happening and all. And finally, he was also happy with what I'm handling. And due to this, see, if you have any this one opportunity, you have to utilize that. And my boss believed in me, and I also believed what I can achieve that this one, and I can succeed or not, each and every this one. And finally, I thought that I can achieve that. And after some 2-3 months, after 2-3 months, he was reviewing entirely what was the analysis, any wrong things went and all. And he was very happy that he has gained this one with me, that if I give any new things also, Shiva is ready to handle that. That was the most thing he has given. By I was reading through this book, that believe you can succeed, and I thought of sharing my own experience in this one. That was my major topic, Kiran.
Wow, amazing, Shiva. I think the best way to communicate is to share with your story, and you also completed with time, shared your point as well, believe in succeed. Amazing, Shiva. I really liked it because you have narrated a whole story. I think most people can really relate with Shiva's story. Many people who are growing in a corporate as well. Suddenly you'll get an opportunity to grow, but then you're not prepared for it. If you don't believe on yourself, then you'll miss out. But you did really nicely, Shiva. I hope you must have inspired at least one person from this book club audience as well. Thank you so much, Shiva. Great. I think we missed out Samiksha's introduction. Samiksha, if your internet is fine, you can the next speaker then. Mohini, you'll go next. Mohini,
Yeah,
yeah. Do you want me to switch on the video as well, or you go with the audio?
No, I'll switch on the video.
Okay.
Can you see me?
Yeah, loud, clear.
Yeah, hi everyone. Good evening. This is Mohini. So I'm part of Bharat and Supra's book club. I'm really excited to be here with meeting new people here, and I'm really enjoying the talks. And the way Shiva expressed his experience is really amazing. I think most of us would have gone through that experience for sure. Okay. So my today's topic is about Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'll be talking about the chapter number 6, that is you need to learn instead of just have to grow rich or just want to get a stable life. So it's more about learning than getting into a stable life. So before getting into it, I really want to talk about few of the good quotations which I was going through when I was reading chapter number 5 as well. So it talks about just what Shiva mentioned, right? That great opportunities are not seen by your eyes, but they are seen by your mind. So there'll be times where you will get different opportunities, and you'll see that that maybe this is not very good for you. Other people might think that this is a good opportunity, but your mind will say that it's not, and you'll go with whatever your mind says. And you need to why that happens, it's because you have different experiences in your life. That is how your mind is trained, that you decide, you judge the opportunity, and then you take a step towards it. So that is what is he's trying to say. And when you read with the example in the book how it's mentioned, it totally triggers you. And then he talks about that the single most power, the single most asset which we have in our life is our brain. So we need to train it well so that we can get most out of it. So it's again a very important thing. And the other thing which he talks about is that our brain, our mind is supposed to be trained like how we used to get trained when we were in our childhood. So we used to fall when we were walking. So we used to fall, and that's how we learned how to walk. Even while riding the bicycle, we fell, and then we learned that this is how we need to ride the bicycle. So that is how life is. We need to fall and fall. That's how we will learn that that is we say, right, the failures are the stepping stones for success. So that is really important. I mean, it just amazed me that, yeah, that's true. I mean, when we are growing, we forget that we need to fall. We are always scared that what if I fail? What if I screwed it up? It's okay. You will learn from it. So that's really amazing. And this chapter, it really talks about that you need to be you need to learn different things. But like, if I give an example, when when we are working, right, so we hear from our managers or from our leaders that do a specialization in backend, or go into UI, or just be into your sales. But that's not the thing. Right now we need to know different things. The author also talks about that the financial intelligence happens through 4 major learnings. So the learnings are like, you need to know about accountings, you need to know about investing, you need to know about marketing, and also you need to understand the markets. So all these things will only come when you keep your mindset open, that you want to learn different things. You just don't want to specialize into one thing, but instead you need to learn different new things. So saying all this, I think I would like to say that the author gave one more good quotation, saying that when it comes to money, the only skill which most people think is of hard work. But no, I think we need to be smart enough, and we need to decide that what is that one skill which is stopping us from achieving what we really want to do. So let's be more mindful, and be careful about our choices, what we make. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Mohini, for sharing a really nice topic, because chapter 6 is so important. I think जितने बार भी उसको पढ़ो, आपको नई चीजें समझ में आएगी. In fact, and if you're not read the previous 4 chapter, you will not get the foundation to understand the 6th chapter, because it is the foundation is laid in first 4 chapters, and then once you read the 6th chapter, the crux and the secrets are there in the 6th chapter actually.
Yeah, I was actually reading the 5th chapter, and then I just turned the pages. I wanted to see, okay, what is the name of the 6th chapter, and as soon as I read it, I was like, I want to read this chapter, and I went ahead and I read that chapter. So it's really amazing.
Lovely.
Thank you so much for having me.
Wonderful, Mohini. Thank you so much for sharing. So the time has come. We have our another blast to happen in this book club, and it's a positive blast because Parikshit is here. I know most of you are already aware of who Parikshit is, and I won't take much time and bring Parikshit on the stage, because I know his speech will make all the difference.
Thank you so much, Kiran, for such a warm welcome in this amazing, vibrant session. Glad to be here with you all this evening, with you, all dedicated, intentional people who want to grow and change their life. So good evening, everyone. I am Parikshit from Jamshedpur, currently working in a top-notch automobile company and posted in Kolkata. I am sure all are excited to learn and grow today. So keep a pen and copy and note all the important points, or else you will forget 90% of the talk in the next 2 days, and you cannot afford to lose this, right? So today I will be sharing you 3 mind-opening assignments that can change your life only if you do the assignments, right? So let's quickly jump to the first assignment, which is called Design Your Life. There is a very powerful quote regarding this that goes around like this: if you don't design your own life, then someone else will hire you to design their life. Let me repeat for the first timers, it might be a little confusing. If you don't design your own life, then someone else will hire you to design their life. So ask yourself right now, whose life are you designing? Yours or someone else's? Have you ever noticed that an architect has a proper blueprint, a roadmap planned for construction of any building? He knows everything, the labor, the investment, the material, the bricks, everything is planned out, right? Do you think the architect suddenly wakes up in the morning and says कि कल रात को एक बहुत अच्छा सपना आया था building का, चलो आज बनाते हैं? They don't do this like this, right? They have a proper blueprint and a roadmap for it. Now just ask yourself that for a simple building construction, so much plan, design, blueprint is being made. Do you think your own life is much more important than a building? Right? If yes, then where is your blueprint of life? What will happen if that architect doesn't have a blueprint and he is going to construct that building? Do you think he will be able to do it properly? No, right? That's what exactly happening to our lives as well, because we are living and building our life, constructing our life without a proper roadmap or a blueprint. And that's where the Peak Impact Mentorship comes into the picture. Here, all of you are assigned with an amazing mentors. whom you are accountable to. They will help you to prepare the roadmap and the blueprint for your success in life, right? So the assignment regarding this is that you have to design your life, meaning what kind of lifestyle that you want to live after 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road. Write exactly what you want in life. Just thinking won't help. There is something magic in writing down the goals. While doing this assignment, you have to keep 3 points in mind. Write it down. First, don't think about the how part. Think about the why part. Second, don't write your goals by taking reference of your present circumstances. Third is to give as much details as possible for each of your goals, like the exact amount, the type, the color, the smell, the timeline, everything you have to give in details. More the details, faster you will achieve your dreams. Ask your mentors for the wheel of life and the 30 reasons dream list, which will help you to further understand this, right? So in short, the first assignment is to write down the lifestyle that you want to live. Now let's move to the second assignment, which is called the price of your dreams. This assignment has 2 parts. First is, as the name says, price of your dreams literally means that you need to give a monetary value to your dream life, right? That you will do in the assignment 1. You need to add everything like the cost of your dream house or the car, or if you want to do world tour with your family or any luxury item that you wish to have. Even having a good health for a lifelong is also a very luxurious thing. It will cost you dearly, right? So add all the things that you want to have in your life, right? Add everything that you are thinking that you will have in your lifestyle in future, and you will come up with the total sum of your dream, right? That will be coming to more or less minimum. It should come to 30 to 40 crore. If your dream price is coming less than 30 to 40 crore, it means you are not thinking big. Still, you are stuck in your how part. Still, you are stuck in your lower self-image part. To cure this, PIM has 5 amazing prescribed books, right? For more details, you can get in touch with the person. He will share you the 5 books that can help you to get out of this self-image, and that will really help you to grow in life. And if someone asks you tomorrow, how much is your dream worth? You should proudly and confidently say that my dream is worth 40 crore or 50 crore or whatever you decide it to be, right? Now, the second part of the assignment is, as the name says, price of your dreams also means that what price are you willing to pay to achieve your dreams? Here, price means the sacrifice. So write down all the things that you are willing to give up so that you get what you want in life, right? As the saying goes, if you don't sacrifice for what you want, then what you want becomes the sacrifice. Let me repeat. If you don't sacrifice for what you want, then what you want becomes the sacrifice, right? So these were the 2 parts of the second assignment that was on price of your dreams. First, as I mentioned, was to give a monetary price tag to your entire dream list. And second part was to write down the sacrifices that you are willing to do to achieve your dreams, right? Now the third and the last assignment. Hope you are not feeling कि ये बंदा इतना सारा assignments क्यों दे रहा है? इतना assignments हम college में भी नहीं किए थे, अभी कैसे करेंगे? Right? So don't think like that. This is not just any regular college assignment. These are your life assignments. If you do this seriously, your life can change, right? So the third and the last assignment for today is the full and the final settlement of your job. In this, you have to add your CTC, that is your annual salary of each year, starting from when you got your first job to around next 25 to 30 years of work experience. Let me give you a simple example to illustrate this powerful, eye-opening assignment. As you know, when I also did around 1.5 years back, it was really eye-opening. I didn't know how much I will be earning after 25 years if I work in a job, right? So what you have to do is you have to just write in the left-hand side, first year, and what was your CTC in the first year? Suppose it was around 4 lakhs. So write first year, give a dash 4 lakhs. Then second year, assuming around 10 to 15% of hike, give second year around 4.5 lakhs. Then third year around 5.3 lakhs. Just like that, go till 25th year. And after that, you have to add all the 25 years, right? And then you will come up with your full and final settlement of your job. Now you will be knowing if you are working in a corporate or if you are working for someone else, how much you will be amounting to after 25 years. Do this and share with your mentor. I'm sure you also will be stunned by seeing the amount that you will be earning after 25 years of job, right? In short, in the third assignment, you have to add your entire CTC of the 25 years. That is That will be your full and final settlement of your job. Now, after this assignment, you have to compare your dream price, that is the assignment 2's price, with the full and final settlement, that is the assignment 3's price. You will surely get confused, right? Because there will be a huge mismatch between both the prices, between the price of your dreams, between the amount that you will be earning after 25 years, right? So call your mentor immediately, because that is the person, who will be helping you to prepare the next step of your growth roadmap, right? When your self-elevation happens. So as you can see, all the 3 assignments are interrelated to each other. Just like to construct any building, the cement, the bricks, and the stones, all are interrelated, right? So to quickly summarize the 3 assignments, first assignment was the design your life, where I asked you to write what kind of lifestyle that you want to live in future. Second was the 2-part assignment of price of your dreams. First part was to give a price tag of your total dreams. Second part was to write down what are you willing to give up to get what you want, that is the sacrifice. Third assignment was the full and final settlement of your job after 25 years and compare it with the price of your dream, right? So complete all the 3 assignments by tomorrow itself. Take a leave from the office if you have to. These assignments are not just any college assignments. These are assignments that can change your life. If you are really serious and passionate about achieving your dreams, you have to do it tomorrow itself and share it with your assigned mentor so that they can prepare the growth roadmap for your better future. Remember, folks, you are a mortal being. Even though we live living mortals, you will be gone one day. How would you like to be remembered when you are gone? As a person who just did 9 to 5 job his entire life and ek din futuk se gayab? Or the greatest person who walked on this earth, who changed millions of lives for better? Think about it. After my today's session, if even one person gets impacted and does this assignment by tomorrow, my job today here is done. But the question is, are you the one who will do it? That's all from my side today. Hope I could add some value to you guys. Thank you so much for being such a patient listener. You all are amazing people. You are in the best hand, the best community. That is the Peak Impact Mentorship, where you get such wonderful mentors who will handhold you and help you to grow in life holistically. Remember, don't just go through life, grow through life. Thank you so much, Kiran, for inviting me. I love sharing this topic with you all. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Amazing, Parikshit Bhai. As usual, you spoke the heart of the book club. I'm sure you have connected to so many people. I was already getting comments while you're speaking ki yaar ye $4 rock star hai, Parikshit ye hai, and Master Blaster. We're already speaking about you. And just to avoid the time shortage, please, any one of your 2 people can unmute and share their key learnings, because what he shared is crux of whatever we started for. So quickly, anyone can unmute themselves who have not spoken yet, and then they can share the key learnings out of this Parikshit's talk. Quickly.
Hello everyone, this is Dilip. I think Parikshit said, just summarize the complete 5 books. Such a powerful talk, and I think recently we had we attended and Parikshit came to our book club. But the day by day, like each and every day, or each and every week, or week by week, he's getting so much power packed with his knowledge and with his wisdom. So really feeling great to again feeling like, okay, why not to invite once again to Parikshit next week. So I don't want him to stop actually. That is where we feel that really he's living the similar life right now. He started living it, whatever his dream life. So thank you, Parikshit. It's powerful, super.
Parikshit ko chura lete na, kidnap him. Keep it for
Yeah, Kiran, Prakash here. I just wanted to reiterate the 3 points which will be really helpful, which we can recite in our mind itself, which are given by Parikshit today. So if you don't design your own life, someone else will hire you to design their life. That is one thing. If you don't sacrifice for what you want, you will sacrifice what you want. Don't just go through life, grow through your life. So that 3 things that are really amazing and that are really inspiring for us. Thank you.
Parikshit भाई, आपको मैं अपडेट दूंगा कि कितने लोगों ने इम्प्लीमेंट किया हुआ है वहीं पे आपका टेस्ट
Absolutely.
And I'm sure I'm amazing, Parikshit. In fact, one of your best talk. I personally loved it because it's really the crux and foundation. And what you shared is actually the foundation for everyone to start implementing the learnings what we're learning out of the books and the time which we're getting from coaches and mentors. Because जब तक परीक्षित ने जो बोला वो नहीं करेंगे, no matter whatever you do, आप कहीं ना कहीं जाके बीच में जाके क्विट करने वाले हो. तो अपने आप को क्विटिंग से बचाओ, परीक्षित भाई की बातें सुनो और इम्प्लीमेंट करो एंड सक्सेसफुल हो जाओ. Great. Thank you so much, Parikshit bhai. Keep coming to our book club and definitely we'll kidnap you with time. With time to time kidnap करते रहेंगे हम लोग.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful sharing with you guys. Signing off until we meet next time. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Parikshit.
Thank you.
Great. So we'll move to the next speaker quickly then. Sashi, you'll go next. I'll spotlight you.
Sure. Hi everyone. Good evening everyone. Hope everyone are doing good. Today's my topic is what to say when you talk to yourself. So I read this book 2 times. So why I read 2 times? Because there is a lot of deeper content in this book. So which still I just want to continue read the 3 or 3rd more time. I already did my 1st chapter and the 3rd more time. So I just want to summarize all the book with my own personal example. So I just want to go to with my early age of life. So when I just born, my parents went to some Jyotisha and they written some like Kundali, some stars they written on my life. So what is my futuristic life and everything. They just did a lot of analysis. When my dad not satisfied with one Jyotisha, he went to all my neighboring villages everywhere. He written the 5 different kind of Jyotisha books that he has written. So with the consolidated report, they said up to my 25th of age, so I can't able to do anything in life. I can't able to achieve anything in life. Even whatever I'm doing here, my parents don't do anything. So you will do after your 25 years, don't do anything. Even I'm going to the excursion with my friends also, they said, you have some water problem will be there. You don't go any water related, don't nearby do. So just stay in the home and enjoy with seeing the TV and those things. I thought maybe I'm kind of like a loser kind of people because I did not see any success, because I just clapped everyone for everyone's success, because no one just did any clapping for me anytime. So only the thing was when my birthday time, the people only clapped me. Yearly one time, the people used to clap me when my birthday comes. So that is the only time I used to get clapped from everyone. So my life is continuing on that. So even my SSC was done somehow with my nearby friend. I just copied something. I just completed my SSC there. So I just started my intermediate for the first day class. So before my first day class, I read one newspaper article stating that some NASA has sent some rocket to somewhere in the place. So that is my first class for first period was the physics is my first period. So my lecturer asked, so do you know about this article? So I just raised my hand. I said, I know. He asked me, just come to the dais and explain me what you know about that. I just came to the dais and explain me what I know. So everyone, people are thinking that I'm kind of like a topper kind of people. So because I know my past and I'm not that kind of personality, because even my lecturer is thinking everyone needs to become like a SSC and everyone is just clapping me. That is the first time I have seen people are just clapping for me with my, other than my birthday. This is the first time I've seen other than my birthday, people are just clapping for me. I feel, okay, I'm also kind of good people only. And every time people are just approaching me with their books and these things, they ask me doubts and those things. I'm feeling like, why the people are there asking to me? Is really they're asking to me only? Did I have the capability to say their doubts also? People are just asking me. I said, yeah, I will explain it tomorrow. And every day and night, I'm just going to the book and just spending a lot of time and just going through all the books and these things. And next day, I'm just clarifying all their doubts. Gradually, I just learned one thing. So in these many years, I just lost spending a good time with one candidate. The person was me. I did not spend any time with me. Because that time I just realized if I just spend time with me, I realized that, so I also can able to do something. Even this Jyotisha, this Jataka Chakra, this something they can't do anything. So if I just train my mind, I also can able to do it. I can able to do it. So that's what I did. Even the Jyotisha 25 years is not done, but still I just made a lot of success. In the intermediate, I am the topper of the college. In the MSET, I am the topper of the district. So I just did a lot of in the AAA rank. I just did my very good rank. I just cracked that time. So there are a lot of success I had seen at that time. It's not because of the Jyotisha. It's not because of that power that puja my mom is doing every day to improvise my Jyotisha. Those things. It's not nothing like that. Because I just trained my mind to just overcome with a lot of fear. So thanks everyone. This is a kind of simple talk to share with you everyone. Thank you everyone.
Sashi, you're like taking off, huh? Parikshit started with the with the plane coming in the airport, and you're like landing, taking off the plane very nicely, man. Amazingly covered, and the real life story always gives goosebumps to everyone because your story resonates with many people. In fact, I can also go to my years of my life and understand what kind of journey I had that time. Wonderful sharing, Sashi. Amazing, I loved it. Great, man. Good. So we'll move to the next speaker. Arun, are you available? Will you speak next?
Yeah, I can. Sure. Is my voice audible?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay. Hi everyone. Good evening. I think after a long time I'm appearing for this book club, and it's really fascinating and so much of learning, and especially today the kind of speakers we had, and the numbers participants are also increased. And after a long time, I'm seeing Karthik and Bharat Supra and everyone. So today I'm going to speak about a topic, the problem with positive mindset. And actually speaking, there was really a problem on this topic, and Kiran knows, I can see the smile because I've been confirming this topic to Kiran for close to 2 to 3 weeks that I will speak on this topic. And maybe I could have taken the reference from Shashi that, maybe I should have approached some Jyotishya or some horoscope where was it the right time to speak? I never got the chance. Maybe some excuse or something like that. Maybe I'll take the blame on myself, work and all reasons. But today I finally decided that I will speak on this. I'll just present the screen. Just a second. Can I present the screen?
Yeah.
So basically, this is the topic which I'm going to speak about after a long time. Finally, the day is today. So, problem with positive thinking by Shad Hemstetter. So this is, so this is the brain, the conflict of thinking positive and thinking negative. So then the choice is within us. What do we choose? So, while they say that, right, whether whatever you want, it is within yourself. You decide it. Whether I want to move, whether can I get it, can I do it? It all depends on me. How do I take it and how do I perceive it? So here I would want to kind of highlight this one concept where the author says he asks the person to go and randomly ask anyone, what do you feel about positive thinking? So on positive thinking, you go and ask randomly some people, and they confirm that do you believe in positive thinking? And some of them would say yes, I do believe, and some of them would say, most of them would say, I think it's a great idea. It doesn't work for me well, but I know it works for some of them, right? So, well, positive thinking is for everyone. Just like as the previous speaker Shashi mentioned, it is not about horoscope or it's not about anything else. It's just about the mindset. Whether do I apply the learnings and do I have the urge to move forward? The positive thinking is about, do I apply it? I know that this is going to happen, and all I need to do is just start focusing on it and ensure that I give my effort 100%, and whatever the percentage of effort it requires, it will happen. So it is because the primary reason is we are used to our old method of thinking, the kind of programming which is fed into our mind. It could be from childhood, don't do this because my parents don't wanted me to do that, but they could have given me a different reason, not because it was bad for me, but they felt it was not safe for me. But however, it didn't allow me to take any risk. It could be anything. Maybe I wanted to start riding my bicycle. I remember this, but I never got an opportunity till such time where I, as a secret thing, I went along with my friends, and I learned riding cycle. I fell sometime, I fell a couple of times, and then I learned it. Eventually, I learned it. So it's about the positive thinking, and there is one thing which we speak about. whether you can or you can't, you are right. Okay, it's not me who's saying, it is Henry Ford who says that it depends on what you think, whether you can or you can't. You are right. It depends on what kind of thinking you have. So this is one thing which shows us, think positive, talk positive, and feel positive. A very important thing. This is, the kind of the machine, the programming machine, which works on the right hand side. Whether we think positive, we talk positive, and feel positive. So it's just about our mindset, whether we, whatever we think we want to move forward. So I remember in my case, just a quick example, my personal example. In 2014, I had lost my job, and so it was mutual because I said I wanted to take a break, and I got opportunity to take a break. But I never knew this was going to be for a long time, for 2 years, and I started. I wanted to get back, and I started getting a lot of free advice from people saying that 2 years is a very long break. You shouldn't have taken. And I'm sure that you will not get. You start getting a lot of people become your advisors, saying that they become predictors, saying that the market is this, recession, and all those things. And they said it is difficult to get. Maybe you might get it with a lesser salary. But I tried. I was positive. Sometimes the motivation was down. Still, I try. I perceived, and I got a job with the same salary of my previous company. But today I'm much better. I'm doing really good, and I feel proud of myself because I was thinking positive, and I was always talking positive, and I felt positive. This will happen. The last thing which I would want to mention is, for example, there are a lot of use of words while we talk. I wish I could, but I can't. So when we start using I wish I could, but I can't, so that when I say I can't, that itself knocks off the opportunity. That itself blocks all the positive thinking. So with this, I'll just conclude with this last thing. It says, who says you can't? So everything is possible. What you think, you believe. The key thing is just keep believing yourself that you can do it, and the world is yours, and all is yours. That's about it. Thanks, Kiran.
Amazing, Arun. Really felt really nice hearing you after a long time. And the voice strength and the kind of strength you bring in your voice is amazing. And that's one of the unique thing which I really find about your talk. Amazingly shared. And the best part is that while you shared your learnings, you definitely covered the points summarized with your own life story as well. Lovely, lovely way of connecting with people, Arun. Thank you so much. Great. So we'll move to the next speaker. We'll take last 2 to 3 speakers because we're running almost, we are now 10:05. So we'll wind up by 10:20 worst case. So who's the next speaker? Charanjit, you want to go next? So Charanjit has actually a very interesting topic. I gave him personally a different topic from altogether because the topic relates with chapter 6 of Rich Dad Poor Dad. And it is one of the most important topic to really bring out the self-confidence within you. So Charanjit, your stage is yours. I'm spotlighting you.
Sorry, Kiran, my topic is on this to change or not to change.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Hello everyone, very good evening. This is Charanjit Singh. I'm basically from Punjab and working in Pune as a software tester. So today my topic is regarding what to change or not to change. This is from a book named What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. My topic is very much related to what just Arun spoke about, like to be a positive and to speak and to keep your mindset in a positive way and avoid all the negativities. So here author talks about there are two type of changes which usually happen with the person. One is the external changes and the second one is the personal changes, the choices that you made in your life. So you might have seen so many people that they say that I want to change my life in a better way, and what they found actually, what they'll do, they'll think, okay, by changing their job, they will make a change in their life. By changing the location or maybe moving to some other location, maybe in another city, that will make their life more easy and that will make their life better. But they actually forgot to change the one important thing, uh, which is their mindset actually. So so wherever they go, whether they are changing a job from one company to another, whether they are changing location, or maybe from Delhi to Mumbai, okay, but the mindset they carry, that will remain with them. So they are missing this thing. So due to this, they are actually they, but externally you'll see ki, okay, they are changing, they are making change in their life, but actually they are not doing it. So one kind of changes that the author talks about is the external changes. If I'll say the company policies and some the changes that happens in your life by the pressure of society. Suppose people will say, okay, now this is the right time to get married. Okay, so you are not this is not your desire maybe, but this is the social pressure that you are coming under and you are getting married. So the some way your life is getting changed. The policy, I would say, you have joined somewhere, and suppose you have got the shift timing, UK timing, or US timing, right? So you have to work in that timing. So those are the changes which are not in your control, and we would say these are the external changes. The another kind of changes are the personal changes. What are the personal changes that you can take these steps and you can make a difference in your life? Suppose by keeping your mindset positive. uh, the one chapter which is from this book itself is to have the positive self talk, where like I can do this thing, like avoid the negative phrases from your the self talk that you can have with yourself, wherever you are in office or in your personal life. Just instead of saying, okay, I can't do this, let's change this phrase with some positive phrases, right? So those are the changes that the person actually needs to do, instead of just saying, okay, uh, they can't do it. So choice is your, guys. As Arun has already spoken on his self story as well. So he had the positive mindset, and that's why he is having a good and positive life. So the same way we can also do the changes, but only thing we have to figure out, and we have to assess ourselves and judge ourselves that whether we are changing ourselves in an inner way, or we are just externally getting changed. So that's it from my side, Kiran. Thank you.
अमेजिंग चरणजीत, आई थिंक वहां पे बहुत ठंड हो रही है, बस तुम्हारे टॉक के बाद पूरी गर्मी आ गई होगी हर जगह. Amazing, wonderfully shared, Charanjit. Thank you so much. So we'll move to the last. So I'll take the last topic. I have very interesting content for all of you people, especially who have stayed for last. कुछ तो उनको अच्छा मिलना चाहिए, right, to really implement in life. So today I'll talk about something so interesting. I won't reveal yet. So Karthik, can you just spotlight me quickly?
You are already spotlighted, Kiran.
Okay, perfect. Hope my voice is loud and clear. So there was a saying by a US politician called Gerald R. Ford. He told कि if I went back to college again, I'd concentrate on two areas. One, learning to write and to speak before an audience. Nothing in life is more important than the ability to communicate effectively. So the most important content which I'll be speaking today is how do you communicate effectively, and are you a communicator versus are you a commentator? Note on the point, because points are very, very interesting. So let's understand the difference. So who is a commentator versus who is a communicator? A commentator is someone who is more of a speaker oriented, and a communicator is someone who is audience and atmosphere oriented. What does that mean? Imagine for your talk, there's a message, there is a place, there are people. So message is something which you're preparing your talk for. Place is something which you're using. Let's say Zoom is a place where you're speaking with people, and people are people where we are interacting right now. For a commentator, the message comes the first priority, then come the place, then comes the people. But for a communicator, it's opposite. people comes for the first priority, then the place, and then the message. Let me give you a very simple example. So I think it was 2 years back where while I was communicating my story in one of the auditorium in Koramangala, and I was sharing all of my struggles in my work and a lot of the business struggles which I went through and a lot of rejections when I was facing. And it was a timeline where I was about to quit mentally. In fact, it was like physically I was not quitting, but mentally I was about to give up. And while I was sharing my story in the stage, I thought, I don't know if I really made a difference with my failure story to a little bit of success story. In the end of the talk, one guy comes to me, and his name was Praveen, I think. And he comes and he told, Kiran, because you spoke, I actually stopped quitting myself from quitting. And that one guy, the message when he passed with me, he told he won't quit giving up. He won't quit on his dream, made me realize that actually I could connect with him. And the major interest is that how do you connect with people? Today you saw Parikshit, today you saw a lot of good speaker. The orientation, the content was more towards people oriented. And that is where we could connect with people, with that speaker. And that is the reason communicator versus commentator is a little different. If you're just preparing your topic, whatever topic you're given by your coach, and you're just delivering with whatever bookish knowledge you have, you're a commentator, you're not a communicator yet. And that is where the transition will come slowly. The next point, commentator speaks from the head and communicator speaks from the heart. It's so beautiful. What is speaks from the head is, I'll tell you, which is very, very profound, because for a commentator, the message can be an exception. Imagine, I am not successful or I'm not good in some area, but as a commentator, I can speak on that. Imagine, I am I'm not good in handling relationships, let's say, and I start giving gyan of relationship to all of you. That means I'm a good commentator, but a communicator, what it does, a communicator shares the extension of his life. Rather than speaking on theoretical knowledge, I share my own life story. I tell ki yaar, there were years of time where I was struggling in my relationship to really make it better. I could not, but now I learned so well that I'm able to create a healthy relationship with my family, with my friends, and with everyone. And my own personal story is an extension of my life. It is nothing fake. And that is where the communicator next point comes into the picture. And for the commentator, content is the most important issue. And for the other, credibility is most important issue. And this is where the challenge comes into the picture. In fact, one of the CEO of Ritz Carlson used to share, you are nothing less than which comes from your heart. If you only go work for doing processes and functions, then you are a machine, not a human being. And most people are mentally retired at the age of 28. And I'm sure most people are in the age of 28. How many people have already retired mentally? And that is where the heart comes into the picture. The vision gives the direction, and passion comes from the heart, and passion is the fuel. So if you are a communicator, then you will speak from your heart because it comes from your life's extension. So the third point, the commentator speaks to people. Communicator loves people to speak. A commentator actually speaks to people. He's a very polished speaker. And the moment the talk gets over, you'll say, wow, yaar, kya mast bola yaar, tera talk kitna khatarnak tha yaar. Matlab, so powerful, so mesmerizing. But when the people are inspired with his talk, they will tell, yaar, tere talk se, I got a fire inside me that I can do something good. Thank you so much for inspiring me. Thank you so much that you touched my heart. You touched my story. Now I feel better about myself. And this is the most important aspect of communicating. The fourth and final point, the commentator is more of information oriented. Communicator is more of action oriented. So as I already spoke, if you're a commentator, most of your talk will be more towards say theoretical learnings. But if you're a communicator, it will be more towards action oriented. Today, I was taking some interview with some guy and I was asking some questions to him. Now, the moment I was asking some technical questions to him, in fact, the question was also customized based on my life's journey. I could never ask him theoretical question because I believe theory is always there, but until we learn to build in practical, it's very, very difficult. And you only can become a leader while you show people by your actions. We already know, right? I think people understand. People, let's say you hear, but you forget. But if you see, you understand. But if I do, you remember. And this is the main challenge and the main difficult aspect of a communicator and commentator. And before I ending my talk, I'll give you a very simple example to understand. Imagine you're traveling in a sailboat, okay, in the ocean, and you know where you're going towards, towards a destination. And imagine the same way you are sitting in the engine and you're running the train. Okay. Now, train, while it follows to the track, it goes to the destination. Commentator is someone who's like a train, who doesn't deviate from the track. Whether it is 1,000 speakers, whether it is 1,000 audience listening to you, whether it is 10 people listening to you, or whether it is 1 lakh people listening to you, it doesn't matter to the commentator, because his focus is always in the message. He will go with the track as planned. But communicator is like a sailboat, because in the sailboat you cannot actually fix your direction. You can only know where do you want to go, and with instant of time, you need to keep changing your direction. You have to keep pulling back your boat so that you can actually guide the whole troop towards a particular direction. You need to assess, you need to understand the pulse of your audience. And that is the reason, as I was already telling, the initial time, until unless we see people, until unless we see how people are reacting to our talk, we don't know exactly how well we're communicating. And communicator is all about people. He loves people and he cares about people. It not only comes from his talk, it is more of a vulnerable. It's like, imagine while Vijay is speaking to you, he shares his most vulnerable moment of his life, where he shares openly that he failed in childhood. He failed. He got 39% or 40%. 12th May he failed, but he's not afraid of speaking his failure that upfront, in spite of being an IITian, because he's not afraid of himself. He really wants to connect with you all. He really loves people. That is the reason he's sharing his all sensitive, insecure aspect of his life, just that he can connect with people. So just to summarize the whole of my talk, I hope you can implement this talk, these points in your next upcoming book clubs as well. So commentator is more of a speaker oriented, where your focus is more of a message, then comes the place, and then the people. Communicator is more of audience and atmosphere oriented, where your focus is more of people, place, and message. The second point is commentator speaks from the head, because when you speak from the head, then you're not talking about your life, you're talking about the content, message, and you might talk about something which is an exception about your life. But a communicator speaks from the heart. He has passion, he has energy, and it is an extension. The topic is the extension of his life. And the third point is speak to people. Commentator speaks to the people, and communicator loves people to speak. That is where the participation and that is where the engagement comes into the picture. The fourth point is information. Commentator is more of information oriented, and communicator is more of action oriented. So I hope it added some value. I hope you'll be able to apply this few of the learnings in upcoming book club and become better in speaking as well. So this is what I wanted to share, and thank you for being a lovely audience. And we are end of this book club, and I'm so glad, so happy to see a lot of your talk. And before I end, I will definitely call our summary guru. I love the way Prakash summarizes. Prakash, with no delay, please go and summarize. Nasir, you also support Prakash so that you all complement together.
Okay.
Yeah, Kiran. So today's topic were amazing. We got to know the topics from the Bharat and Supra's book club as well. So today Bhushan started about the cash flow game which we played in the last book club, that is income, asset, liabilities, and expenses related game we played. Then Rohit talked about remove unnecessary things from last PM, Vijay's PM session. Okay, the curse of choices, that was the last PM session. Then Shilpa talked about yourself from excusitis. So she talked about health, intelligence, and age, luck, excusitis. Then Supra talked about the misconception about the old age. So she very well explained about that it is all about dreams which you want to achieve. It is not about the age. So it is depend on you, that how you think about your age. Then Chaitra ma'am talk about principles about how to influence people. So she talked about 5-6 principles from the book, how to win friends and influence people. Then Shiva talked about the belief in yourself. So belief that you can succeed and you will, from the magic of thinking big. Then Mohini talked about the chapter 5 from the rich dad and poor dad, and the blasting topic from the Parikshit, that he has given a 3 assignment for us to design our life So in which he asked us to prepare our dream prize full and final settlement and to get connect with our coaches for that. And after that, Shashi Sekhar talked about the power of mind, and then Arun and Charan talked about almost same topic, that is problem with positive thinking. And then lastly Kiran talked about ability to communicate effectively, where he has mentioned that what is the difference between the commentator and communicator. So so that's it for today's book club. Did I missed anything, Nasir?
Yeah, I think Shashi and Venkatesh. Venkatesh. So Venkatesh talked about what to say when you talk to yourself, like wall between your thought process. And then Shashi also talked about what to say when you talk to yourself. So his life experience, like people first time clapped him when he explained the article what he read in the newspaper, and then he started believing in himself and he trained his mind, and later he achieved many successes in his life. Yeah.
Amazing. QC approved, actually. Huh? QC approved. Quality check done. Amazing, guys. Really, really nice. Really enjoy the summary, actually. End of the time में जब सब लोग भूल जाते हैं क्या हमने पढ़ा है, Prakash and Nazir take the responsibility to really note down all important aspects and summarizes the whole book club. This is amazing. Amazingly covered, Nasir and Prakash. Thank you so much. So guys, we are done with the book club, and request you to switch on your video. We'll take a group pic quickly.